Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. We'll just give it another minute or two for everyone to sign on and get ready for a fabulous workout from Brendan. What we're doing today is how to squeeze in a workout. If you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 minutes, Brendan's going to show us a different series of different circuits that can help you squeeze in a workout into your day. So we'll give it another minute or two for everybody, and then we'll get going. Hope everyone can see Brendan. Want to give a wave, Brendan?
Hello, everybody.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm not frozen, I promise.
Good. Thank you. All right. Well, why don't we get started? So my name is Julie Quinn, and I am at Transaction Associates, and I am joined today by my colleagues Sophia and Kelly, who are going to help me with today's event. Why don't we quickly jump into the first polling question so we can get an idea of what you guys are doing for your commute? Good, Kel. So how are you commuting to work? Please check all that apply. Telework, carpool, vanpool, biking, walking, transit, or drive alone. Keep that open for about 20 seconds. Everyone check off how you're getting to work.
All right, we're going to close the poll. So any last minute votes, go ahead and get those in. All right, here you go. Here are our results.
Okay, so we still got a lot of people working. 56%. Nobody carpooling. Excellent. Biking, walking, transit, and we do have 56% driving alone. So that leads me into Transaction. We are a full service transportation company, and we basically help our clients commute and encourage people not to drive alone. So that's what we're here for. Today you'll be hearing from Brendan Stapleton, who is the owner of Fitness Together in Burlington and Melrose. He's an experienced personal trainer in many areas of fitness. And again, today he will be showing us how to squeeze a workout regardless of how much time you have. Whether you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you can squeeze a circuit into your day and get it into your routine. We do welcome questions during our webinar. Over on the right-hand panel, you'll see a panel that says questions. So add your question there and we'll be sure to try to answer your questions. After the webinar, there will be an email with a short survey that we hope you answer. And also there will be a chance so that you can get a free mini trial session at Fitness Together. So that will be in there as well. So let's get started. Let's do one more polling question and then we'll get going with Brendan. Typically, how much time do you allot yourself to work out in a day? Less than 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or more? So again, go ahead and let us know how long that you allot yourself to work out. Might be different than how much you would wish you had to work out. Couple seconds more, everyone. Get the last minute results in.
Okay, so I'm going to close the poll and show the results. It looks like a lot of people, yeah.
Hey, Gal, go ahead, sorry.
No, you're okay. So, it looks like everyone has at least 20 minutes or 30 minutes or more. So you'll have all sorts of things to show today, Brendan.
Excellent.
There you go. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brendan, and he's going to work us out for the next about 30 minutes. Take it away, Brendan. Thank you.
All right, awesome. So we'll still start with the 5-minute routine, even though you guys typically have a little bit more than that for the workouts. The goal here is just to make this cumulative. So we're going to build a 5-minute workout, and then to make it a 10-minute workout, we're just going to add another workout or circuit on top of that, and then another circuit on top of that to make a 20 or 25-minute workout. So this is stuff that's pretty much all body weight that you can do in relatively small amount of space. You don't need any equipment for it, although you could add some stuff to it. So if you guys have questions about that, feel free to ask. And the goal of each section or each workout, each circuit is to have a little bit of a warm-up and then at the same time be able to repeat and sort of master and learn what you're doing so that it's not always something different each time, right? Because we all like, to know what we're doing and feel like we're getting better and progressing at it. So first workout, honestly, would only take 5, 6, 7 minutes. So you could sneak this in basically anywhere, maybe even between, your Zoom calls or in between meetings at the office. So we're gonna start off with a little segmental cat camel. And the goal of this is just to provide some movement through your spine, as well as unstick the ribs and the muscles that attach to it to allow for better breathing patterns. Okay, so all you're gonna do is just gonna come down to hands and knees. All right, and you're just gonna tuck your toes underneath. You're gonna round out your body, tuck your chin, and then you're gonna slowly move from the hips through the back and then finish off with the head. And then to complete the move, you're gonna tuck the hips first, go through the mid back, and then follow through with the head. Now, easy way to modify that would be able to do it off of a chair. You could do it off of a low bench. If you can't get all the way down, you could still have that. It would just be at a different angle. All right. So you'd be doing 8 of those. All right. The next exercise is called dead bugs. It's comical because if you see a dead bug on the floor, usually it's laying on its back with its limbs in the air. All right. So we're going to do 8 per set of limbs, or 16 total. Okay. So a dead bug would be you laying on your back. All right, nice and flat. All right, and you've got your limbs facing the ceiling. You're gonna exhale as the limbs go away from you. Inhale and come back. Exhale and go away. Inhale and come back. Now the goal of this is to keep your lower back flat on the floor and to really activate the transverse abdominals, right? So we want to stabilize the spine with all of these muscles. So again, it's just an exhale here, right? And then exhale again with an inhale here. So the goal would be able to do 8 of those on either side, or 16 total. All right. So next piece is we're just going to do a body weight squat. So you're just going to stack your hips underneath, or your hips over your heels rather. All right. And you can have your hands in front of you. You give yourself a little hug. And all we're going to do is just 20 squats. All right. So now, again, if you only have 5 minutes, you might pick the cadence up a little bit to get through those 20 to get the blood pumping. All right. So next thing is we're gonna go back to the floor. All right, we have a single leg glute bridge followed by a low plank. All right, so for those body weight squats, you'd be doing 20 of them. Single leg glute bridge, you got one leg in the air, you have one foot flat on the floor, and the goal of this is to push the floor away and let your tailbone rise to the ceiling. You're gonna lower yourself down slowly and repeat. You can also cross the leg here like this, and you'll get a little bit of a stretch in that opposing glute. Okay, so you're gonna do both sides, one side and then the other. Okay, you're gonna do 10 each. For a low plank, you're gonna come down, hands flat on the floor. Okay, you're gonna tuck your toes. You're gonna stack your shoulders over your elbows, your head over your hands, and you're just gonna pop up. Now, think about pulling the floor towards you, right? And that's gonna activate a lot of the core muscles. And we're gonna hold this for a slow 20 count. Okay, so while you're here, you're squeezing the glutes, pull the floor towards you. All right, we always make a joke. The easiest way to slow down time is to plank. I'm sure you guys have seen those memes. Okay, so that's gonna be a slow 20 count. All right, we're gonna come back up. We're gonna go into alternating reverse lunges. Okay, so hands in front of you. All right, you're gonna put one leg behind and just take a nice little bend, come back up, and you're gonna take another bend with the other leg. Okay, this would be just the same as if you were just going to kneel down to tie your shoe, except you're not going to stop, you're just going to continue. Okay, now if you can't go all the way down, that's okay. If you can tap your knee up the floor, that's okay too. All right, so you're going to do a total of 16 or 8 each. All right, and then the last thing of this little circuit is going to be jumping jacks, and it's just 20 of them. Now jumping, right, if you can't get the arms all the way up and overhead, you could cross the arms, but it's just going to be here. And you're just gonna go for 20 of them, all right? So the warm up would be the cat cow and the dead bugs, and then the circuit for the actual workout would be your body weight squats, your single leg glute bridge, your low plank, your alternating reverse lunges, and your jumping jacks. And then you would just repeat those A to E twice to make 5 minutes. So if you do it quickly, it's gonna, as you can tell, I'm sort of just out of breath talking and doing it at the same time. So you're definitely gonna get your heart pumping there, all right? Now, to make it a 10-minute workout, you're gonna do that set of exercises, okay? Followed by the next circuit, and we're gonna set it up the same way. So we're gonna have a little kind of, well, for this 10-minute workout, a cool down, but also kind of just a moment of rest so you can catch your breath, okay? And then we're gonna work through the same type of exercises in that same sort order, all right? So first one is gonna be an isometric bird dog. Now the goal of this is to work on some balance and some core activation, okay? So you're gonna come down, hands and knees again. You're gonna drive your heel out behind you and your hand up in front of you. And you're gonna hold this for 20 seconds. So a slow count to 20, right? You might start to feel yourself being wobbly, right? Really focus on the core and squeezing the rear glute and just holding yourself here, okay? After 20 count, we're gonna come up and we're gonna switch sides, all right? So 20 count on either side. While we're down here, all right, we're gonna do some side bridges, okay? So we're gonna target the obliques, kind of that quote unquote love handle area right here. But again, we wanna stabilize the spine, injury prevention, okay? So a side bridge, you're just gonna line yourself up, elbow underneath your shoulder, hands flat on the floor, okay? You're gonna stack your knees on top of each other and stack the feet. You're gonna drive your hips up to the sky and try to create a straight line from your shoulder to your hip to your knee, and you're gonna be right here, okay? Now you can easily increase this by picking one leg up, all right? Instantly makes it harder. So you're gonna be here for a side bridge, all right? Now let's slow count to 20, okay? So both the bird dog and the side bridge each have a 20-second slow count on either side, right? So after the first side bridge, you just flip over and do the other side, all right? So next exercise is gonna be a single leg hinge with a reach, okay? So if you play golf or tennis or pick anything up off the floor, this will apply to you, all right? So you're gonna be standing tall, all right? You're gonna balance on one leg, all right? You're gonna drive the leg that's up in the air behind you while reaching forward, okay? You can also reach down towards the ground to pick up your tennis ball or your golf ball, right? And what you're doing is you're making sure there's 3 points of contact, your big toe, your pinky, and your heel. You should feel the tension in the hamstring and your back stays flat, all right? So you're gonna go single leg or single leg hinge with reach. You're gonna do an 8 on each foot, then switch feet, okay? From there, we're gonna go to the floor. We're gonna pick up alternating Supermans as our next exercise, all right? You're gonna be here. Slight pause, right arm, left foot, come back down, and repeat, okay? When you come up for a slight pause, it's really about 1 second, and then you come right back down. Now, the goal of that is to work on some contralateral movements, which is right arm, left leg, and then left arm and right leg. We work in a X pattern. You'll notice like when we walk or run, opposite limbs swing at the same time, okay? So from there, we're gonna come up, okay? We're gonna throw in some alternating lateral lunges, all right? So instead of going backwards for the lunge, we're gonna go laterally, all right? So we're just gonna step out and take a lunge, okay? Come back in and repeat the same side, which would be same side, or like I said, alternate, you would just switch sides, okay? So from the angle, right over the side view, you'd be stepping out, driving your hips behind you, sitting down into the leg and popping back up. Step out with the other side and pop back up. Great for injury prevention, knee, hip, ankle, okay? So you're gonna do 8 on either side, all right? Then we're gonna go back down to the floor. This is called a bear hold, okay? And what I want you to think about is not a timer, but exhales. So this one's kind of fun, and you can easily progress yourself by having or adding on exhales, okay? So kind of a cool variation to the plank. So you're gonna go hands and knees, all right? And then all you're gonna do is round out your upper back like you're pushing the floor away, and then pick your knees up and just hold this. Now the reps are gonna be breaths. So you're gonna inhale through the nose and then a big exhale until you run out of air. And the goal is to have the inhale through the nose and the exhale be a powerful breath like you're trying to blow dust off the floor or right? So again, stacking the shoulders and the wrists, puff up off the floor, inhale through the nose, and then a big strong exhale through the mouth, okay? From there, we're gonna do something called the mountain climber. Core, cardio, heart rate, okay? One leg in, and you're basically just hopping back and forth. All right, and the goal is to be do about 20 or 30 of those, okay? So for the 10-minute workout in review, you're gonna take the first 5-minute circuit, add in this 5-minute circuit to make 10. So this circuit was the isometric bird dogs for a hold of 20 seconds on either side, slow count that. Then we go to the side bridges. From the side bridges, we do these single leg with a reach, okay? We're gonna do 8 of those. We have the alternating Supermans, 8 of those. We have the lateral lunges, and we have 8 of those on either side. Or you can do same side, doesn't really matter. Then we go to the floor for those bear holds with the big exhales, followed by the mountain climbers. And you'd repeat that circuit twice. So at this point, if you've added those two together, you've worked out for about 10 or 11 minutes. Heart rate would be through the roof, right? So allow yourself enough time to recover and don't overdo it, because the goal is to sneak a quick workout in, but also not to be, lying on the floor in a pile of jello, okay? So we've got 10 minutes there. And so the next circuit is going to be a little bit longer, but we're going to repeat it 2 times again, okay? So this would make a combined 20-minute workout, 20, 25 minutes, depending on how much downtime you need. So the first exercise of the third circuit, all right, would be a wall sit with some overhead slides. So you find a nice wall, stack knees over your ankles, 90 degrees, hands on the wall, arms on the wall, and you have 20 overhead wall slides. All right, so that's gonna be a 20 count. Now you're gonna feel the legs burning a little bit, right? You might start to see the shake. That's okay. If it's too hard, don't sink as deep, right? You don't have to be at 90 degrees. You could be a little higher than that, all right? And then these wall slides are just working on opening up the shoulders and a nice shoulder activity, okay? More of a rehab stretch. Okay, so the next thing is gonna be a high plank with shoulder taps. So you're gonna come into a high plank position. You're gonna widen out your feet just a little bit, all right? And the goal is just to tap one hand to the opposite shoulder. Now you'll see that there's not a lot of rotation in my hips, all right? So I'm getting core, I'm in tripod position, meaning I have 2 feet and 1 hand on there, right? So the shoulder tap increases the amount of tension through the core, okay? Now the goal of not having your hips move, right, from side to side, because this is not what it should look like, or big rolling like this, right, is to really work on the core and stabilizing that spine, preventing further injury, but also working on, the tummy, all right? The next one is gonna be good mornings into a Y, then we're gonna go into pop squats, all right? So for the shoulder taps on the floor, 20 total, or 10 each hand, all right? So good morning is more of a double-legged hinge. So that last circuit, we talked about a single leg hinge. This is gonna be stacking the hips over the knees, knees over the ankles. You're gonna drive your hips back, okay? Slightly bent knee, so you're gonna feel those hamstrings, right? And then you're gonna bring your arms up into a Y, all right? Then you're gonna come back up, drive those hips behind you, nice flat back, soft knees, and bring the hands up into a Y. All right, so that's all posterior chain. So we're working on just a hinging pattern, right? Because when we pick up heavy stuff, maybe out of a trunk or a box off the floor, we want to lift our legs. We want a nice flat back. We don't want a lot of rounding, because when we round over and pick something up, that's when you hurt your back, right? So when you're grabbing something heavy, you want to have a nice big hinge, right? And then you'd pick something up. So this is just a big hinge, good morning, into a Y pattern, working on the shoulders as well, okay? So pop squat, cardio. Now you can scale this either direction, make it harder, okay, or easier for yourself. But a pop squat would basically just be tap the floor and hop up, go back to the floor and hop up. You could scale it back a little bit and just tap the floor, hands over the head, right? Tap the floor, hands over the head, or you can include the jumping and just pick the cadence up. So for the pop squats, we're going to do 20 reps, all right? So you're gonna have that up and down motion, sweat's gonna be going, promise, don't worry, okay? Going back to the floor for a couple of exercises. One's a scapular retraction, working on range of motion of the shoulder blades. We have what's called a caveman squat, working on hip mobility, as well as the squat and the legs. And then we have some alternating Spider-Mans for the rotation. Okay, so for the scap retractions, you can either be on your hands and knees, all right, or you could be up on your hands and your feet. Okay, so scap retraction. You're gonna inhale and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, pushing the floor away, getting a nice big stretch. Now, the hips aren't doing much, okay? So this isn't the cat-cow from the beginning, or the cat-camel rather. This is just the shoulder blades moving, okay? So think when you retract your shoulder blades, it's that same movement as if I poured cold water down your back. You'd pinch your shoulder blades together. So if you were to be on your hands and toes, it would be the exact same thing. This is much harder, obviously, because I've got to hold my whole body up, okay? So we're gonna do 15 of those. Caveman squats, all right? You're gonna start here, okay, in that bear position, okay? Or you could start on all 6, hands, knees, and toes. You're gonna widen your toes a little bit and then widen the knees a little bit. So when you rock back and you walk your hands backwards, you're sitting nice and low like a caveman. And from the iconic picture of a person sitting this low, lighting a fire, cooking, whatnot. And then you're gonna crawl forward again, come back to this starting position, and then rock back, okay? So this can be a nice deep stretch. All right, so those are caveman squats. The last one is an alternating Spider-Man with a T-spine rotation, okay? So you're gonna get a big hip flexor stretch, which is great because a lot of us sit all day, right? So these attach to the lower back, and we wanna mobilize the upper half, okay? So you move back to this position, you're gonna put one foot up, tap the knee, and then just rotate, okay? Come back, pop back up, bring that foot forward on the other side, and then rotate here, all right? So if you wanted to make this a little easier, you could just start on all 6s or all 4s, bring one leg in, and then rotate, okay? So it's scalable. All these are meant to be scalable. For those T-spine rotations, you wanna do 20 reps, all right? So to recap that one, all right, we have the wall sit with the overhead wall slides for 20. We have the high plank with shoulder tabs, trying not to rotate through the hips too much, for 20 total, or 10 each hand. We have the good mornings into that Y, right? Really working on the hinge and the hamstrings, right? We got those for 15. We have the pop squats down and up for 20. Scap retractions on the floor for 15. The caveman squats for another 15. And then the alternating Spider-Mans with the T-spine rotation, 10 each, okay? So if you went through that 2 times, that would give you another 10 minutes. Or if you add them all together, you now have a 20, 25-minute workout. So the last thing that we always try to do with clients is, because we're all stressed and crazy things are going on in everybody's lives, is just some diaphragmatic breathing, which is a nice way to reduce the stress level. So whether you're doing the 5-minute workout, the 10-minute workout, or the 20-minute workout, or a variation of any of these, or your own workouts, always think about ending it with a cool down. Try not to go from 100 miles an hour right into the shower, right to the next meeting, or right into the car, right? Give yourself, a minute or 2 to decompress. So a nice easy solution to de-stress, cool down at the end of a workout, right? Because you're gonna be tired, is just laying down flat here on your back, all right? Your feet are flat on the floor, one hand on the belly button, one hand on your chest, all right? And then you're gonna inhale through the belly, right? And then exhale. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Try not to have a lot of movement of the chest. So the hand on the chest does not go up and down. We're trying to have the stomach or the belly go up and down. So inhale, and then a big exhale, okay? So we want to get the diaphragm involved in the breathing. A lot of us spend our time chest breathing, right? Which we're stressed, we sit at chairs, we're on calls, we're always clicking. So the diaphragmatic breathing allows the diaphragm, which is a very important muscle, to start doing some of the work. You get a lot more breath in, right? A lot more oxygen. So it calms the system down, right? The other thing is it allows the muscles in between all the ribs to do what they're supposed to be doing, right? And it also allows the shoulders to come out of the ears, right? And to have less stress in the chest. So at the end of the workout, nice, easy thing to do. You could also add that into your morning routine or your going to bed routine. So adding all those together, you got a couple different cool workouts in there. I promise the heart will be pumping. You'll probably be sweating a little bit, and you can always mix and match a little bit. But again, we got a 5-minute workout, the 10-minute workout, add them all together, and we have 20-minute workout with some cool down diaphragmatic breathing at the end. Ladies, back to you.
Yes, excellent. So why don't we end with the third polling question so that Brendan can catch his breath, and then we have a couple questions we can ask you if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Of course. I'm gonna get water.
There you go. What are some of your fitness goals? Please check all that apply. Getting 10,000 steps, 30 minutes of cardio, 30 minutes of strength training, 15 to 20 minutes of guided meditation, or working with a personal trainer. So please check all that apply. Leave that open for another couple seconds, few seconds. Give everyone a chance.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and close the poll. And here are our results.
So getting 10,000 steps said 60% of you, 30 minutes of cardio, excellent, 70%, 30 minutes of strength training, 90,
Awesome.
15 to 20 minutes of guided meditation, 70%, and working with a personal trainer, 10%. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That is great. Fabulous. So a couple of questions that did come up from a couple different people. Are you able, Brendan, to email the exercises to us? And I know we talked about this before our webinar. So do you want to answer? Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of information there. So I'll put that together in a nice PDF, and that way you guys can review it and be able to look them up and see the reps and the sets, because it's a lot to memorize in a short period of time.
Something to refer back to. Great. So we can email that out to everybody who has registered for today. That is great. I have another question. So I see you have a gaiter on, and some of these gyms and fitness facilities are requiring that you wear a mask. Is there one that you can recommend that is easier to breathe in as you're working out?
Yeah, is for breathing more freely and feeling like it's not, being sucked into your mouth. There's a couple of great brands out there. Adidas makes a really nice one. Under Armour makes a really nice one. And then the Athleta version would be the other one. And they're just higher quality. They have a little bit more of a cone shape. They're more sealed on your face, but they allow you to feel like you're not eating the mask, and you can actually get a full breath in.
Exactly. I did just buy my boys the Athleta ones to do their workouts. One plays hockey, one plays basketball. So and they've liked them. So that's excellent. Thank you. Can you show us a quick movement for some of us who have a little bit tougher knees, something that's not so hard on your knees? Just a quick.
Sure. Yeah. So there's tons of things you can do that don't involve necessarily a lot of bending of the knees, right? Typically getting a full body workout in requires the bending of the knees, but any of the stuff on the floor in regards to the single leg glute bridge where I was laying on my back, that won't be a knee issue. The planks shouldn't bother it too much. Now the squatting and the lunging would, right? Because that's where the knees are bending. So one thing on that is if you're doing some sort of a squat or some sort of lunge, is make sure that the weight is evenly distributed in your foot and that you're sitting back behind you, right? So you're almost looking for, say, the park bench with your butt, all right? Opposed to coming forward with the knees. That forward flexion of the knees is where you start to get a lot of aggravation in the patella, But for example, for the squats, if you had a stability ball, right, against the wall, you could easily put your body against that and lean into it and put your feet a little bit in front of you to get some squats in. That, again, the weights behind you won't bother the knees. Okay. And in terms of, the jumping jacks or the pop squats, an easy way to get the heart rate up for that would even just be just a high knee, just a quick high knee march, right? Or a little piece of balance and then coming back down. Or just some lateral foot fires like this, right? Like remember the old Foursquare, the hopscotch, right? Those little feet moves like that, just in almost like a clock pattern, right? So you could go to noon, you could go to 3, you could go to 6, you could go to 9, right? So something like that. Another thing you could easily do to work on the kinetic chain, the vertical chain, would be hands against the wall and just some calf raises, right? Again, you're going to get some lower body activity, right? You could also add push-ups in off the wall if you wanted to, so you don't have to get down to the floor. You could add them to a bench or a chair.
Excellent, excellent. Those are so helpful. Thank you. And one other question.
Sure.
It's very important to stretch before and after. Would you recommend doing more before, more after, equal amounts? What do you say about stretching?
So if it's static stretching, kind of like the old school, this kind of stuff, very much at the end. All right. So we want to upregulate the system, meaning the warm up, right? So doing the cat-cow ahead of time, some dead bugs, some bird dogs. Think of, even though you may not be an athlete, think of, we'll use, Tom Brady is the famous example here, right? When he warmed up on the field, he didn't just throw a ball, 1,000 times down the field to warm up, right? He was trying to get his body upregulated, start to get the synovial fluid in the joints going, his body temperature up, his blood pressure up, right? So that he was warm for the activity. So think of, before your workout, you want to warm up, right? And then after the workout, that's when the static stretching would come in.
Excellent, great. Thank you so, so much. I think that is it. We've got a couple minutes to end here. So Brendan, thank you so, so much for another fabulous workshop. Keep an eye open for your emails with a short survey. It will also have Brendan's information. If you'd like to check out a free mini trial of Fitness Together, that's in there. See what all the services that Brendan can provide. There's our information. Julie Quinn from Transaction Associates. Brendan is Brendan Stapleton at fitnesstogether.com. And please keep an eye on your email for other emails, the other webinars that we'll be doing in the future. So thank you so much. And also we'll be emailing out the PDFs of this presentation with the different workouts and the different circuits that Brendan did. So enjoy your afternoon, everyone. Hard to believe we're already into fall, and check back again soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.